Okay, so the last piece of functionality that is left on this app is the update the document. So if we click through to our document here, what I've done is I've only added state to change the description, but you can enhance this and go further with it and edit the image and so on. But for now, if we click on edit description, we have a piece of state in here. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to, whatever the value is in here, so new value, and we click update hotel, we want to send this piece of data into our database for the description. So in this case, it's the description. So in here, we want to update this description to the new piece of state in here, which is new value. So what we need to do is create the function for this. So if we go into our controller, and I'm just going to add edit a document. So edit a document. And essentially what it will do is if the document is there, then it will edit it. Otherwise, it will create a new document for you. Only update the fields that you have specified. So in this case, whatever the argument is that we pass in will be the updated description here. So that's what we're working with only on this app. So I'm going to put that in edit a document / description in this case, but you can further enhance it. So I'm going to export this function. So export const of update hotel. Again, this is going to be an async function and it's going to take in an ID similar to the delete hotel. So I'm just going to copy that as the first argument because it could be undefined as well. And then the second argument is going to be the doc data. So the data that we are passing in here. So it's going to take this value in and then it's going to add this value into our database. So I'm just going to put this as any, but it will be a string. So actually I'll just change this to a string and see what comes up. So in my brackets, I want to create a constant. So first of all, we need to get the hotel. So const get hotel. So this is the hotel that we're working with. And similar to the delete doc, I'm just going to copy this actually. So const get hotel or doc or whatever you want to call it is equal to the Firestore /hotel /ID of what we are passing in. And we just need to add an arrow in here. So this time we want to await and we want to set doc. There's a few ways of doing this in Firestore, but I just want to do it this way because I feel like this is the best approach to update a document. So what it essentially does is it only edits the files that we want to edit instead of passing in all of the details once again and creating a new document or replacing it. So await set doc is going to be a function. So we need to import this from Firestore once again. So if I go to the top of my file, as you can see here, I'm just going to add a comment underneath. This is tree shaking from Firebase. So essentially, instead of me installing the entire package from Firestore or Firebase, I'm just using what I need. And then that way the app is more lightweight and it performs better and improves the speed of the site. So await set doc. So if I go into here, we first of all need a document reference. Then we need to pass in the data. And then I'm going to pass in a third argument as well, which is merge of true. So if I go on here and first argument is going to be the get hotel. So essentially get the document. So this one here. And then the second argument is going to be the data that we pass in. So doc data like so. And then the final argument is going to be merge of true in an object. So merge of true. So we want to merge the whatever the change is into our current document and replace it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of a string for doc data, I'm just going to pass it in as any for now. So we have three arguments. Await set doc, we pass in the get hotel, which is the relevant ID document that we need, the new data that we want to pass in, and then merge of true. All I want to do now is console log the value has been written to the database like so. So now that is all set. We can use this update hotel function. So if I go into my information here As you can see, we are deleting the hotel, which is correct, but we now need to go into the edit component. So if we click through to the edit component in here, we now want to update the hotel. So bring in the update hotel function from our controller. And if we go into our controller, we can see here we need to pass an ID and the new doc data in here. So if I just close down the details page, and if we go into edit, so in the update hotel, we need to have access to the ID. So we need to pass down the ID. So if we go into information, and then all I'm going to do in here in the edit component is pass down a prop. So ID is equal to the hotel dot ID. Then now we have access to this prop in our edit component. So underneath here, ID, and we want to pass in the ID also here. So my first argument is going to be the ID, which we are passing down from the information component, and the ID is going to be undefined at the start. So I'm just going to pass in a question mark, and then this is going to be a string. So that's the ID portion set. And then the second argument is the updated details. So as I mentioned before, we created some state in new description here. So on change, we are setting the new description to the value of whatever we type in here. So the value is always going to be the new description. So what I want to edit is in my second argument, I'm going to access the database document here, and I want to access the description in particular. So description, and I want to set the description now to the new description state in here. So if I just put this in, so essentially when we click the handle update, so when we click update hotel, we are then going to call the update hotel function from our controller. That then takes in the ID of the document that we want to get. Then we want to pass in the updated data in here, and we want to merge it to the description that we are passing in the edit component here. So description is equal to the new description. And then just finally, what I want to do is navigate again back to the home page. So navigate back to the slash route like so. And then we also need to have the navigate. So const navigate is equal to use navigate, import that in from React Router DOM. And I also want to go back into my controller, and where it says here navigate of any, there is a specific type that we need to pass in for the navigate. So if I just hover over navigate, you can see here it says navigate function. So I'm just going to copy that and go into my controller on the delete hotel and pass that in. So we just need to control spacebar and then import that from React Router DOM and delete the extra colon here. So at the top here, we now have the navigate function from React Router DOM imported. So we have the relevant and correct type in there. So all that's left to do is save everything. The handle update method should be updated. So if we test this out, so in here we have set on 4 acres on the outskirts of Point Reyes National. So if I check my description here, which is set on 4 acres, what I then want to do is update the new description state in here. So this is my new description. So now if I press the update hotel, what will happen is it will update this description, but we want to navigate back to the home page. So then when we navigate back to the home page, we fetch the new updated data in real time. So then we can access the new description when we click onto the view more information button. So if I click update hotel, and then now if I go into my Firestore document, as you saw there, it says this is my new description. So we should see that rendered down onto the details page. So click view more information, and then you can see there, this is my new description has been rendered on the page. So that is how you update the Firestore document with React.